A year ago, 5 boys each shared the same burning ambition to become the next singing superstar. This is their story. This is One Direction. Coming up.
It's weird to see how much you can fit into a year, how much stuff you can do.
I never thought I'd get so crazy over a band.
I felt a bit powerless, like I really wanted to do something for a friend, but I couldn't.
I think it's weird to think that a year ago we were sat like here, and just like so much has changed.
In 2010, 5 boys auditioned for the X Factor.
When I was in Dublin, I looked around and there's like 8,000 people at the auditions. I'm thinking, not a hope. You know, there's not a chance of me getting anywhere here.
Like, I remember just sitting in my computer room and just typing, filling in a form, seeing like a little picture of Simon Cowell on the side, smiling at me, just thinking as I'm entering this form, like I might be singing in front of him, sort of thing.
On the day of my first audition, I travelled from Bradford and I got up at like 3, 4 in the morning, and what I wanted from that audition was a yes. I just wanted somebody to tell me I could sing.
I think I got up at about 3, drove down, and there was already a massive queue when we got down to the auditions. Just in this queue for hours. You know, I was just stood with my mum and my friend, and everyone was kind of camped out in tents, and just people sat around with like guitars and stuff. It was really nice.
Liam, Harry, Louis, Niall and Zayn all had ambitions to become solo artists.
When you're on the show and you're stood behind that first curtain to go on stage in front of up to 3,000 people and the 4 judges, there's just so much nerves and excitement.
Absolutely incredible. One massive, fat, almighty yes.
But then came boot camp.
Now, it's boot camp!
Things were about to get a lot tougher for the 5 boys. Liam's nerves got the better of him.
I've messed the words up. Can I start again?
If this happens on stage, the worst thing you can possibly do for me is to start over.
Harry's song choice let him down.
All of the stars are fading away.
When it came to kind of the audition, I probably picked like a really safe song.
Crying your heart out.
When I look back on it now, like, it's really annoying because my performance was so boring.
Well, one of the boys had more than a bit of trouble with the dance routines.
Boot camp was a bit difficult for me because they did a new thing where basically they did like a dance and a thing.
5, 6,
Obviously, I'm not a dancer, and I thought nobody would realise if I went missing, like, because there's so many people there, so I thought maybe if I just go in the back somewhere and hide, I can just disappear.
Zayn discovered there was nowhere to hide.
Zayn, why aren't you out there? Why aren't you out there?
Can't dance.
But you can't just bottle it.
No, but it's just like a new experience for me, like I've never done.
You can't just hide behind here. Zayn, you're ruining this for yourself. I'm trying to help you here.
As Judgment Day arrived, disaster struck.
That's it, guys.
you know, we were still on stage after being told no, and I was kind of stood there and I was thinking, right, what am I going to do now? I'm going to go home. It's going to be a bit awkward when I get home. And just like, what was I going to do? I was just going to go back to school, and that would kind of be it.
Try, ready? I just don't want to go home. I just don't want to go.
I'm really gutted. The worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. Standing there and waiting for your name to be called, and then it's not. Oh, sorry. That's what I'm doing.
But not wanting talent to go to waste, Simon Cowell had a plan.
Myself and Harry were actually outside with our suitcases on the steps of Wembley Arena, ready to go home. One of the producers came out and told us to come back.
And they said that we were wanted for interviews. And like, looking back, it was surprising that we didn't click on a bit quicker. We were all kind of sat looking like 5 teenage boys that they've kept back.
Zayn Malik, Liam Payne, Harry Styles.
Hello.
Hi.
We've thought long and hard about it, and we just feel that you're too talented to let go of.
We've decided to put you both through to the judges.
From 5 individuals, One Direction was born.
It was a shock because when I entered the X Factor, no way did I ever think that I was going to end up in the band.
So you had the excitement, obviously, of getting through the competition, but also the excitement of like a new project almost.
For me, it was like I can either go home as a solo artist or I can continue in the competition in a group. And it was a bit of a no-brainer, really. It was just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a go. What have we got to lose?
The band faced their first real test at judges' houses.
Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm more like fate. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shamed. I'm lying naked on the floor.
Cool, they're relevant.
So cool.
This is going to be a hard decision to do so.
They did enough to impress their new mentor.
You're through.
And made it all the way to live shows.
For me, the best way to like capture the live shows in a moment, you've done all your rehearsals all week, you've just been put in the house and whatever else, and then suddenly you're behind the doors that are just, you know, they're like the catchphrase of X Factor, those doors opening, and being stood behind those and waiting to perform to millions and millions of people has to be the most exciting moment I've had so far, I'd say.
Obviously, you know, we'd worked hard week after week on the live shows, and we felt ourselves progressing and, you know, becoming a group more and more every week.
I think you're the next big boy band.
I would love to hear your names read out at the end of the competition because I think you deserve it.
It was the start of One Direction mania.
And for every week for us, there was girls just lining the fence outside. And you kind of put yourself away from it and think, it's amazing to think that all those people are out there waiting for us. You know, and we're just setting out.
As the weeks went on during the live shows, more and more people would start to build outside the studios. And I think the girls became interested.
Signing my first autograph was a bit awkward because I didn't have one. I just didn't know what to do. So I just kind of wrote, Harry, just bog standard.
As the weeks went on, we were just having the time of our lives. We had such a great time on the show, and we were getting through each week, and more fans were coming outside the studio, and I'm just a normal 19-year-old guy from Doncaster, of all places, you know. I don't know.
Every single week we went out there, we had fun, every single week.
Simon's group made it all the way to the X Factor final.
The incredible Robbie Williams.
thought it couldn't get more exciting. Out come the boys and then Robbie.
That was a magic moment. Just magic. You could see it on their faces.
I've got 12 months would take that, and then I'm having 3 years in One Direction.
I don't think for a second we ever thought we were going to win. It just seemed too far-fetched. But we just really wanted to do the best that we could and just see what happened.
When it came to the final and Dermot said the person left in the competition is...
Rebecca!
It was pretty hard to hear.
Some people would say, like, you know, you guys don't have to win, you're going to be fine. But for me, it was as straight as we needed to win. I really wanted to win, and I thought that, you know, we needed to win.
But Simon decided it wasn't the end of the road for One Direction.
We didn't know what to expect because Simon had made it very clear from the start that, you know, he was only going to sign the winner.
This is just the beginning for these boys.
With the day we got signed by Simon. And it was kind of that moment where we were sat in front of him and we were all wondering why we're there, sort of thinking what's going to happen next.
Simon has this thing where he brings you down to bring you back up, or opposite. He brings you up to bring you back down. And he started telling us that, you know, we were a risk and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And then he just said, but Sony Music will be taking you on in the morning.
And, we were all just over the moon because, you know, we'd been signed and it's what we wanted to do.
Zayn, what's going to happen to One Direction now?
We're definitely going to stay together. This isn't the last of One Direction.